What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I decided to do another one of my quick hit scouting report videos today. This one is a double feature with the Buffalo Bills and Houston Texans. And before I get into the stats and the scores and all that stuff, let's just say that this is a tale of two teams. The Buffalo Bills obviously are currently 3-1 because they won this game. The Texans are 1-3 because they lost. So obviously opposite as far as record, but just opposite in general as far as organization and quality of team. The Bills obviously, if we're keeping it real as Dolphins fans, there's very little chance that we beat them when we play them again on Halloween. And that is likely a loss. But look, they head the division. They're up on, the rest of us, because the rest of us are 1-3. They're up by 2 games already, and they're looking like clear favorites to win the division. Probably make it back to at least the AFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl. And they look like they're, unfortunately, after they played us, it looks like, that game was their springboard game to really get their groove back and start pushing. The Texans, like I said, just the opposite. They've had a lot of drama, the Deshaun Watson stuff. They suck. They're rebuilding, whatever, right? So, and that should be a game that the Dolphins win, even as bad as the Dolphins have been throughout the first few weeks. They obviously need to get better in a lot of different areas, but that is a game that they should definitely win. So let's actually dive into this a little bit more. Whoa, that's not what I wanted right off the bat, although we will be getting to that. That's not what I want either. That's my Twitter. So here we go. Sorry about that. I guess I was not very prepared for this. All right. So as you can see, and it's the second time now in the first 4 weeks that the Bills held a team to 0 points. Now, unfortunately, both of the teams that they held to 0 points aren't very good. That unfortunately includes us, but it is what it is. They beat us 35-0, and they just beat the Texans 40-0. As I said, getting to 3-1. Texans are now 1-3. Let's take a look at some of these stats. So, and just look how lopsided this is. And no matter how you look at it, whether you look at the box score, you look at the stats, you watch the game, it was completely one-sided. The Bills just destroyed the Texans. So Buffalo had 450 total yards to the 109 for the Texans. They had 251 through the air. Texans had 61 passing yards. Buffalo had 199 on the ground. They were 1 yard shy of hitting 2 Bills. Houston had 48. Just look at this, bro. Look at how lopsided this is. Buffalo was 6.3 yards per play. Houston was 2.6. Jesus. Houston lost a fumble. Buffalo did not. Let's see. Buffalo, Josh Allen did throw an interception early in the game. It was raining pretty heavy at that point. So that probably did have something to do with it. But he did throw an interception. But the Texans, as you can see, threw 4 interceptions, and obviously that helped to, have a very lopsided game. Buffalo only let up 1 sack. Houston let up 3. Buffalo was 41% on third down. They only let up an 11% clip on third down to the Texans. Buffalo had the ball for 38-15. Texans had it for 21-45. Buffalo had 3 penalties. Houston had 10. So as you can see, it doesn't matter where you look. The Buffalo Bills won every single category along the way. Let's take a quick look at the Bills. Mitchell Trubisky did end up coming into the game for a little bit of garbage time just to keep some of the starters. And some of the other Bills backups came in as well. Josh Allen was 20 for 30, 248, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mitchell Trubisky was 1 of 1 for 8. Rushing, Devin Singletary led the way, 14 for 79 yards and a 5.6. Zach Moss had 14 for 61, a touchdown and a 4.4. Josh Allen threw in 6 for 41 and a 6.8. Mitchell Trubisky had 4 rushes for 10 yards, a touchdown and a 2.5 average. So there you have it. I mean, they just were having their way with the Texans. Stephon Diggs was 7 of 11 for 114. Emmanuel Sanders 5 of 6 for 74. Dawson Knox 5 of 8, 37 and 2 tutties. Cole Beasley 2 of 2 for 16. And as we usually do, take a quick dip down here. I mean, it was a brutal day for the Texans. But look, man, like I said, well, first of all, I mean, that obviously should be and of course there's a familiar name to Dolphins in the punting game, Matt Hawk. But like I said, I mean, the Texans game, that even with as bad as the Dolphins have been, and, I mean, at the end of the day, that could be a relatively low scoring game, if the Texans were to keep it close. Now, I will say that if Tyrod Taylor is back, that will change the dynamic of the game a little bit and could potentially keep it closer. But either way, like I said, the Dolphins should get a W there. If they don't, if they lose to the Texans, and I said this about the Jags, and I say it when I make the videos for them, if they lose to teams like, the Texans or the Jags, that's pretty bad. I mean, yeah, the Jets are doing bad, but I think that they're getting better. Their defense is in the top of the league, are doing bad record-wise, let's say, because they're obviously 1-3 right now. But their defense is in the top of the league, and their offense is getting better. And Zach Wilson does seem to be settling in, so that's not even as sure of a thing at this point. You should still beat the Jets, but point is, if you lose to teams like the Texans or the Jags, that's really a big problem. Anyway, Davis Mills only was, Jesus, I mean, look at these stats, bro. 11 for 21, 87 yards, and 4 interceptions. Mark Ingram had 6 rushes for 24 yards and a 4 average. David Johnson, 5 for 21 and a 4.2. That's about it there. A couple guys had negative yardage. Brandon Cooks was 5 of 7 for 47. David Johnson, 3 of 4 for 27, and that's it. And then, of course, the rest of the stuff here. But, man, I mean, again, no matter where you look, it doesn't matter what stat you want to look at or whatever. It was just super, super one-sided in favor of the Bills. And they're scary, man. They are scary. They are going to be a really tough team. And like I said, unfortunately, I just don't see us beating them on Halloween in their stadium. In fact, if I'm keeping it completely real with you, there is a significant possibility that it is another very lopsided game. Hopefully this time they don't, cause us to go scoreless. I mean, I don't want to put up another goose egg. We better score some kind of points, but it could end up being a lopsided game. All right, let's get into these statistics. Now, again, when you look at their league standings, completely tale of two teams here. The Bills are in the top half of the league in every statistical category on offense and defense. The Texans, just the opposite. Dolphins, unfortunately, are also just the opposite, and we're a lot closer to the Texans than we are the Bills. So the Bills, though, are 6th overall in total yards with 1,616 and 404 per game. The Texans are 30th with 1,053 total and 263.3 per game. Passing yards, the Buffalo Bills are 15th with 1,064 and 266 per game. Texans are 30th with 773 total and 193.3 per game. Rushing, the Bills are 5th with 581 total and 145.3 per game. The Texans are 26th with 332 and 83. Points per game, or for points, the Bills are 2nd with 134 total and 33.5 per game. Whereas the Texans are 28th with 67 total and 16.8 per game. Defensively, and this is actually where it starts to get scary, and I told people, man, I told you this Bills defense is gonna be really good. They had a really good defense last year, and they just only retooled it and added to it. And look, I was a fan of Gregory Rousseau coming out. I also liked Boogie Basham, and they added both of those guys, and they're showing up for this Bills team. And look at these these standings as of right now. Defensively, the Bills are giving up 216.8 yards per game, which is 1st in the league. The Texans are 28th with 401.8. Passing yards per game, Bills are again 1st in the league with 167.3. Whereas the Texans are 21st with 276.3. Rushing yards, they're 4th in the league, the Bills are, with giving up only 68. The Texans are 28th with 137. points per game defensively, another statistic that the Bills are first all by their lonesome with 11 points per game. And obviously when you have two opponents that you fucking, you know, cause a goose egg for, right? You keep them from scoring any points. Obviously it's going to help keep it that low. But that's insane, bro. The Texans are 28th with giving up 29 takeaways. They're not even tied with anybody. They are first, clearing away all by themselves in takeaways with 11 so far on the season. The Texans, on the other hand, have 6, which has them at 11th, but tied for 6th. Interceptions, the Bills have 7. They are second on the list, but tied for second. Let's see. The Texans have 5. They're 6th on the list, but tied for 3rd. Fumbles, the Bills have 4, which is 3rd, tied for 2nd. Texans have 1, which is 26th, tied for 5th. Sacks, the Bills have 12, which is 6th, tied for 4th. Texans have 7, which is 25th, tied for 9th. Passes defensed, again, another statistic where the Bills are all alone at the top of the fucking stack with 26 passes defensed, which is clearing away first. They have 2 more than the second place team. 14 for the Texans, which is 19th or tied for 11th. Third downs, they are 4th in the league, the Bills are, with only letting up 30%. And the Texans are 14th with letting up 39.5%. So again, like I said, a tale of two teams. We should beat the Texans. Probably not going to beat the Bills, but so it is, right? You know, it's just how things roll, I guess. And then, of course, as always, because I always want to make sure that you guys have at least a glimpse, here's the Dolphins' current league standings for offense and the current league standings for defense. Alrighty, and with that, that is going to wrap up my quick hit scouting report video for these two teams as future opponents for the Dolphins. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.